at ease. Just enjoy yourself. You can take it. I'm the boss here. You just take it. So you don't have to listen to them for that. 9.1% to be exact.
Why are those numbers not in the media?
Well, they get out with the fake news, like CNN over here doesn't want to put them out because they don't like.
And they were screaming at me, the press, the fake news, like you're fake. And the fake news is screaming at me, like, about eggs. I said, I've only been here, this is my 7th day.
Sometimes they say that we imprisoned thousands. I like to say that we actually liberated millions. So,
It's very good. Who gave him that line? Do you think I can use that? Yes. And I want to say, number one, at ease. Just enjoy yourself. You can take it. I'm the boss here. You just take it. So you don't have to listen to them for that.
Say that you are confident these deals will be done, but you also said that you're in no rush. Americans are seeing prices rise. They're seeing it on their bills. How long can they expect that pain to last?
So they've already seen it get much better, because if you were truthful, which you're not, I know you very well. It's an honor. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it because it's just an honor. Here's one of the boats in there. Look how beautiful that is down. They use it for a beautiful cruise that takes 7 days before they can do the first fish. Can you believe it?
Actually, what you're doing with the border is remarkable. It has dropped, 95%? It's incredible.
Okay. As of this morning, 99%, 99.1% to be exact.
Why are those numbers not in the media?
Well, they get out with the fake news, like CNN over here doesn't want to put them out because they don't like putting out good numbers. They don't like putting out, because I think they hate our country, actually. Congratulations, and we're thrilled to be joined by a proud Marine Corps veteran Vice President J.D. Vance. J.D.? Where's J.D.? What the hell happened to J.D.? He was just here. He must have gotten a call from China.
You for our nation's heroes.
Thank you. Who's that picture on there?
That is Joe Biden, and it says, "Let's go, Brandon."
I'm saying, what was that picture? That's great.
I told him he wasn't allowed to ask you to sign it.
That's very good. Well, thank you all very much. Would you like to say anything, fellas? There's a big chance you have a lot of good people watching that believe in you. They happen to be the media, but they believe very much in you, like I do. Anybody?
Mr. President, we just
plankton and all kinds of stuff, and they can.
It's a beautiful life. You wouldn't choose any other life, right?
It's a very unique life. I love what I do. I really do.
I mean, if you could have a life like some beautiful leisurely life in Washington, D.C., where you get mugged when you go to work, but other than that, you love politics. If you could live in the White House, you'd take exactly.
Might take it under consideration.
All right, let's do this, right?
University's College of Physicians and Surgeons. Boy, oh boy. Doctor, I thought he just did a show. I only know the show. You know why I know the show? Because he said, I'm a little overweight. I should lose some weight. I did a show, and that's what I got out of it. That was not good. What are you going to do? A record that hadn't been broken in 18 years. They put on an ounce, quarter of an ounce, eighth of an ounce for 18 years. Then they have a guy come up, peeing. The whole thing is crazy.
The price of eggs, when I came in, they hit me with eggs. I just got there. I was here for 1 week, and they started screaming at me, eggs have gone through the roof. I said, I just got here. I was there for 7 days, and I hear that eggs have gone through the roof before I got there. And they were screaming at me, the press, the fake news, like you're fake. And the fake news is screaming at me, like, about eggs. I said, I've only been here, this is my 7th day.
Is he hard, Coach? Is he a hard guy to tackle? Could I tackle him running full speed? You don't suggest it, right? Now, if for some reason one of the two parties makes it very difficult, we're just going to say you're foolish, you're fools, you're horrible people, and we're going to just take a pass. But hopefully we won't have to do that. That's right. This is very impressive. This is a first. We've had women, but we've never had 3 of them right here. That's 4 and 3 men. Look what we have. You guys feel a little bit mistreated?
White House watching the fights. That's a crazy thought. Like, it's just crazy thought he's at the White House. The fights are on. It's pretty incredible. Crazy. It's insane.
Do you have any questions, please?
President Trump?
No, let's not start with CNN because they're just so wrong. Yeah, please.
Yeah, thank you.
And they were right. They went up 87%, and you couldn't get them. They said, you won't have eggs for Easter, which is coming up. Happy Easter, everybody. That's a good-looking group behind me. And they're big. We're not going to get into any fights with them, I can guarantee you that.
Do you think Russia's playing you?
No, nobody's playing me. I'm trying to help. This was Biden's war. By the way, by me getting involved, they'll say, oh, Trump. This is not Trump's war. This is Biden. This is a war that should have never happened. Okay? Think of it.
Have you attributed a motive through the FBI investigation behind the attack on Governor Josh Shapiro over the weekend?
No, I haven't, but the attacker was not a fan of Trump, I understand, just from what I read and from what I've been told. The attacker basically wasn't a fan of anybody. It's probably just a whack job. Were this good? He said absolutely. That's a good answer. To Coach Ryan Day, and I have to read this because this is not part of it, but they gave me a little briefing. I knew how good a coach. I didn't know he was that good. I've known him since he was a very young man, as I said, very, very young, and I was impressed. I said, look at this guy is, in fact, you sort of look like a teenager. You look like a teenager. I said, what kind of a He grew up well in the last 5 years. Coach Day's overall coaching record, 70-10. So in other words, Ryan, I'd like to be your agent. I want to represent you.
Would you say again that
Europeans
have
you said that Europeans are parasites?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't said. I don't know
He
what.
didn't say it.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Go ahead, please. Let's hear the question from this very low-rated anchor at CB.
Thank you, President. Do you plan to ask President Bukele to help return?
Congratulate you because this building behind you, there's nothing like it. I have a lot of buildings. This is the one. This one you can't beat. The White House. Up actually is interest rates, because we have a Federal Reserve Chairman that is playing politics. Somebody that I've never been very fond of, actually. But he's playing politics. Interest rates should be down now. They should be coming down. In Europe, as you know, they reduced them, I guess 7 times. It looks like they're going to reduce them again and again and again. But our guy wants to play cute. But interest rates are pretty much even. Maybe they went up just a slight bit, but that's the only thing. But that's because of the Federal Reserve, because they're not very smart people.
So will you return?
And you are doing a great job. Thank you. Wait a minute. Can you just also respond to that question? Because, it's asked by CNN, and they always ask it with a slant, because they're totally slanted, because they don't know what's happening. That's why nobody's watching them. But would you answer that question also, please?
Yes. Van Hollen sipping what appears to be margaritas with Ringo Garcia down in El Salvador. Do you encourage other Democrats to fly down to El Salvador to meet with this illegal alien who's been accused of...
I like this guy. See, now, this is the kind of a reporter we like. There aren't enough of them. We got to get some more of them. But, no, I appreciate that question. No, look, he's a fake. I know him. I know them all. They're all fake. And they have no interest in that prisoner. That prisoner's record is unbelievably bad. If you would go into the room, you might, if you would, Caroline, maybe go into the room and see if you can find that little slip. I wrote some things down. I don't know why you'd want to keep them, but we got a little biography of him. Not a very innocent guy. Yeah, please. In the first playoff game, Tennessee quarterback Will Howard scorched the Volunteer defense. I watched that game. I said, that guy is good. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a real honor. Well, they'd love to have a criminal, released into
I mean, there's a fascination.
They would love it. But
Yeah.
Sick, these are sick people. Marco, do you have something to say about
Yeah, I mean, Stephen outlined it. I don't know.
the fact that they can't do that to us anymore because we have a real president? We have a president that understands what it's all about. We had presidents that, in some cases, were smart, but they didn't understand business, or they didn't like business, or, it wasn't like a priority. And then you had, like, the last administration, the only thing they were good at was cheating in elections. That's about all they could do. They couldn't do anything. They were useless. They were incompetent. Worst administration in the history of our country. Worse than Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter died a happy man. You know why? Because he wasn't the worst president. Joe Biden was. Known for his accuracy, strong arm, but boy, is he known for his accuracy. Where is Will? I want to see this guy. Right here. Where are you? You are fantastic. Oh, he's going to be so rich. It's such an honor to do this. Normally I say things and it's nice and everything's good. You get more water in the shower head and things like that.
Mr. President, you said that if the Supreme Court said someone needed to be returned, that you would abide by that. You said that on Air Force One just a few days ago. And they said that it must be facilitated.
Why don't you just say, isn't it wonderful that we're keeping criminals out of our country? Why can't you just say that? Why do you go over and over, and that's why nobody watches you anymore? You have no credibility. Please, go ahead.
President Trump, thank you very much. How many illegal criminals?
An insurmountable 34-point lead thanks to the scores from veteran playmaker Tavion Henderson. Where is he? Tavion. Oh, man, get up. You think I could beat him in a race? I don't know. Great going. The fake news refused to put it up, so it's very sad. And yet they talk about this guy like he's an angel. See the angel up there? They think he's like that, like a little angel.
Would you be open to...
It has no impact, the way she did it. Like, look at her. No impact. It's just like unbalanced. Would you do the... Well, go ahead. What I would do...
On Iran, would you be open to letting
See
Iran
that?
keep some kind of civil nuclear program?
No impact whatsoever.
Or would the entire program need to be...
You having a good time, everybody? Everybody having a good time? Do you remember the bunny with Joe Biden? Remember? Do you remember when the bunny took Joe Biden out? He's not taking Trump out. Anyway, that was a beautiful moment when the bunny saved Joe Biden. But I took a full physical and it came out perfecto, so that's good. I mean, she got me for a little longer. Offensive MVP Will Howard led the charge again, completing 14 of his first 15 passes. I'm telling you, the guy has an accurate arm. How many times do I have to tell you that? Quinshon Judkins reached the end zone 3 times. Where the hell is he? That were very smart. When they heard that this very low IQ president, and by the way, I took my cognitive exam as part of my physical exam, and I got the highest mark, and one of the doctors said, "Sir, I've never seen anybody get that kind of, that was the highest mark." I hope you're happy with that, although they haven't been bugging me too much to take a cognitive, but I did do my physical and it was released. I hope you're all happy with it. I notice there's no question, so probably you are. But the cognitive, they said to me, "Sir, would you like to take a cognitive test?" I said, "Did Biden take one?" "No." "Did anybody take one?" "No, not too many people took them." I said, what about Obama? Did he take one?" "No, he didn't take one either." I said, "Let me be the only one to take one." But I've actually taken them 3 times already. I like taking them because they're not too tough for me to take. But okay. Nice. Cool. Linda, you should hold that.
Il nostro lavoro, abbiamo condiviso anche oggi il nostro lavoro.
That sounded absolutely, that was so beautiful. What okay, please. No, I mean, it sounded great.
It was about.
It was beautifully presented. But maybe I could hear what you said. Go ahead.
It was about asking.
Guys,
Hold it, hold it.
have some respect, please.
Thank you. No, wait. I want to hear what you said.
Do you notice the way they're sitting in like a little trench? I didn't want them at the same level. Actually, it was really, but I feel very good about that, JD, right? Yes, sir. Keep them down a little bit. This was like an unforced error, they would call it, where we had people that may hate our country, or maybe they're just stupid people. I think they're probably stupid people more so. Harrison, Heinzman, Tegra, Shabola. Oh. And because of a thing called tariffs, as I said, the most beautiful word in the dictionary. After love, God, relationship. The press actually hit me and said, tariff is the most beautiful word in the dictionary. What about family, love, God? I got hit even on that.
Here to Rome, there's a lot of leaders attending the Pope's funeral who also said they'd like to meet with you while you're there. Do you have any meetings set up? Or you
Yes, I do. I have a lot of meetings set up. I don't know if I can do it. Do you want to help me out, fellas? I don't view Signal as important. I think it's fake news, really. I don't view it as important.
It's the third country to be officially invited to the White House after Liberation Day. Why did you invite Norway so soon to the White House?
Because I like them. In women's sports, when we put a whole thing out on that, and that's no longer a part of our fabric. Hopefully, we have a couple of people like Maine, the governor of Maine, who wants to play the game, and she's going to lose an election if she runs. I don't know if she runs. I couldn't care less, but because of tariffs, I could possibly get that. What do you think? Opening up China would be a big win, right? The problem is, no matter how big the win is, the press will not give me credit for it. If I got the greatest win in history, they'll pay us trillions and trillions of dollars. They'll give us anything we want. The press will say, Trump, he just had a terrible defeat. He suffered a terrible defeat. But the people know. No, I think we're going to have a lot of big wins. I don't know if it's going to be covered that way by the fake news, but the wins are going to be very substantial. And Biden approved it. Question?
On tariffs?
No, not you. The approval ratings are the highest I've never heard numbers like this. It's better than the first 4 years. So no, there's no group of people more important than the people in this room. And I'm not talking about the media. And things were said, like when Zelensky was in the Oval Office, I was talking about getting it done, and he starts screaming, but we need security, meaning security after the fact. I said, security? I don't even know if we can get this deal done. He's asking for more, just more and more and more. And he doesn't have the cards, as you know, because you see what's happening over there. He doesn't have the cards. You'll see some very large people, right? You see some people that even you have not seen people like this. These are 6'7", 380 pounds with no fat. Okay, that's pretty good, right? But the national championship team is being honored today at the White House, so that'll be exciting. If you're around, you want to stay around, I'll have you up there. You can tell them all about your prison, how you have to behave. Screaming at me that eggs are up. I said, I just got here. And in the first week, they were going crazy. You remember that, Linda? Yes. They were going crazy. They're saying, egg prices are too. I said, I'm here for 1 week. Just leave me alone. This is a fake news radio. And he let them fleece us. And we can't do that anymore. And you know what? I don't blame China at all. I don't blame President Xi. I like him. He likes me. I mean, who knows? Who the hell cares?
Do you have any updates on it?
So, we're about bringing common sense back to this country. And it may be popular or unpopular what I'm saying, and I've just said to you, he's a nice guy. He got a lot out of me on this one, but I would go.
We'll all go together tonight. I want to go skiing.
President Biden, very good. Prime Minister President Biden, any plans to talk with him? He's going to be there.
Oh, he is? I didn't know that. I mean, it's not high on my list. It's really not. We didn't have any inflation. Don't forget, I charged China hundreds of billions worth of tariffs. They talk about inflation. We had no inflation. Because that doesn't cause inflation. Stupidity causes inflation. Now, let me just tell you this. I don't blame China. I don't blame Vietnam. I see they're meeting today. Is that wonderful? That's a lovely meeting. They're meeting like trying to figure out how do we screw the United States of America. Thank you very much, everybody. What's on tap for Melania's birthday? Oh, she's going to have a great birthday. She's got a working birthday. She's up front. I should send her back. You want to have somebody answer a question? I'll send her back into the lion's pit. Susie, let's send Melania back to the lion's pit.
On China, can you clarify with whom the U.S. is speaking with China? They're saying it's fake news that trade talks are happening.
Well, they had a meeting this morning, so I can't tell you. It doesn't matter who they is. We may reveal it later, but they had meetings this morning, and we've been meeting with China. And so I think you have, Jeff, as usual, I think you have your reporting wrong. Thank you very much. We'll see you. We'll see you inside. Thank you.
Thank you, President.
What a good-looking crowd. You remember when the bunny saved Joe Biden? The bunny's not going to save me, right? I got a better bunny.